Okay, jumping right into this draft. So I've got the 11th pick, and we'll see how it starts out. This guy's probably going to take either Bijan or Gibbs to start it, I imagine. It's the way it has been going. And I have the 11th pick, so I have no idea who's going to fall to me right now. I've done, I think, 25 best ball drafts so far. Most of them were pre-draft. This is only my third or fourth post-draft draft. Things are changing, and things are a lot different in the very beginning, in that first day, once best ball opens back up as compared to pre-draft, and once it gets closer to the season, things are going to be completely different in both situations. There goes Gibbs, first overall, can't complain. A lot of people like Bijan, but I think that Gibbs is also a real solid play. He's going to have a little bit more of the workload there since Montgomery left and Pacheco came in. I don't think Pacheco's going to fill quite as much of the touches as Montgomery did, but he might do a little bit. I thought they were going to bring in a rookie too. They didn't. There goes Bijan second. And we look at the board. Not much has happened yet, but Saquon goes third. Interesting. I wonder if we have someone who thinks they're a sharp drafter, or maybe we have an Eagles fan here. Third, either is possible. I mean, Barkley is worth taking with the third overall pick. I think that a lot of people who've been playing best ball for a couple of years were taking him pretty high before in previous years, and then he had a little bit of a down year. I mean, he still had a good year, but not exactly what we wanted from Barkley. Not like that previous year, 2,000-yard Barkley that we all wanted when we were drafting last year. Where's my mom takes Jackson Smith and Jigba. Okay, good pick. Good pick. There goes CD at 7. All right, we're getting close. Let's see who's about to come to us. Is Jonathan Taylor going to fall at 11? That would be a real nice snag right there. I'll take McCaffrey or Taylor without even thinking about it if either one of those guys are still there at 11 when I am on the clock. All right. I don't love Jefferson nearly as much. Hopefully one of these guys takes him. The Vikings just have a really bad offensive line and questionable quarterback play. Just because you have a really good wide receiver, that's not going to help you in, at least not first round material help, unless he has some good quarterback play and that quarterback has a little bit of time in the pocket. Okay. Come on. Let me get Taylor. Let him drop, buddy. Because if he takes Taylor, I mean, he's got to take Taylor here. I mean, he might take Jefferson if he's a little bit not so sharp. But I mean, you got to take Taylor here. Who's he taking? He's letting it go down to the very last second. And of course he takes Jonathan Taylor. Okay. So then looking through, like I said, I don't love Jefferson. Amon-Ra's a solid pick. Genty, they also have offensive line problems in Las Vegas. Achane could be a smash again. You know what? First round or not, I'm taking Kenneth Walker. I believe in Andy Reid. I think he's going to be real solid in Kansas City. And I'm cut off here. I don't even have the what the heck is going on? There we go. All right. He goes Amon-Ra. And Achane. Leaving us. Could go elite tight end. Could go Jefferson, McBride. I'm gonna take Malik Neighbors. He's got a 21 ADP right now, so later in the second round, that's a little bit crazy. I'm sure by the start of the regular season, he's going to be a top 7 ADP guy. So right now, I'll take that value. And, other people want to draft only by ADP and scared to make a bad pick. I'm not afraid to reach outside of ADP a little bit, especially if I think that ADP is a little bit mispriced. In the case of Neighbors on the Giants with the vastly improved offensive line, Jackson Dart coming into year 2, played really well last year with no weapons. Jefferson as a round 2 pick with Taylor, that's solid. I mean, I still don't like Jefferson, but if you're going to get some good value, that makes it a little bit better. better. There goes McBride. McBride and Cook is a solid start. He's a little thin at wide receiver, but what are you going to do? All right. Hey, DraftKings is really, really showing up this year. Did you see, the millionaire tournament this year? Wow. $3 million to first place, second million, $2 million to second, and $1 million to third place in week 17. That's what I'm talking about. And, this year, I'm hoping to stream at least one huge winning draft that's going to, just document it. It'll be fun. My best drafts in previous years were not streamed, so we're gonna try to stream a winner this year. See if I can't take down 100K or a couple million on a stream draft. That would be badass. There goes Josh Allen with the 20th pick. A little rich for my blood, but it's not exactly a stupid pick. I mean, he goes in the third. There's a chance that he might not have came back to him. Plus, depending on who this guy likes in the third round, there might be no other way to pair up Josh Allen with whoever he likes in the third round unless you reach for Allen just a little bit, one round ahead of ADP. I don't know if that guy is sharp or not. He might just be grabbing the best play. Like now, this guy who took Barkley and Lamar, I don't like that start at all. At all. I mean, those are both really good players, but I have to think we have a somewhat best ball newbie here. All right. Who else is going on? All right, this guy's pretty solid with Amon-Ra and Achan. Then we have me with Kenneth Walker and Neighbors. Kenneth Walker was a suspect pick right there at number 11. But just like I said with Josh Allen, unless you were to take Kenneth Walker right there in the first round and Malik Neighbors in the second round, there's really not many other ways to get both of those guys on your same team. And, they both have what it takes to smash this game. There goes Nico around the 2-3 turn. Let's see who the Bijan and London drafter wants to take here. I don't love London there, but oh my gosh, I hate Hampton there. Hampton is a really good running back. It just sucks that he is on the Chargers and their really horrible offensive line. Almost the same thing is going on in Green Bay, not quite as horrible. Now, Kyren Williams, that's a much better pick, right? Out of all these running backs right here, Kyren Williams is by far the best pick because he's running behind by far the best offensive line. I mean, all those other three backs right next to him have middle of the road to bad offensive lines, and that's just making life harder on everybody. All right, let's see what this guy's going to do. He's got McCaffrey and Genty so far. He might want to look wide receiver, or else he's going to be pretty far behind. And there's only 2 starting running back spots on your best ball team, and there's 3 starting wide receiver spots. So, I mean, only logically, you're going to need more wide receivers. I mean, yeah, sure, you have your flex. All right, A.J. Brown will probably be nice in New England this year. And let's see what the Cook and McBride drafter is going to do now. And I'm on deck. Here we go. See what's going on here. We could take Devonta. We could take T. Higgins. We could take Ibuka. Millen. So I'm just going to grab Ibuka here. I think he's in for a good season in Tampa Bay here. He really looked great last year. Time to step up, and Big Mike is gone. He went to San Francisco, so we'll see who Baker starts to lean on. I have a feeling it's going to be Ibuka, and I like Tez Johnson, the rookie too. He's going to be available at the very end of this draft. We'll see. I mean, if I end up getting Baker, maybe I'll snack him up too. All right, so looking around, let's see if we have any running backs I like here. And at 38, I'm not going to go Loveland. Could go McMillan or who did I already? I just took Ibuka, Neighbors. All right, let's go DJ Moore. I'm a little bit fearful that Josh Allen's just not going to throw him the ball that much. I feel like Josh Allen doesn't want anyone to be a superstar, so he tries to spread it around. But hopefully, hopefully, the addition of Moore is a little bit different. You know what? I kind of like. What's that rookie wide receiver's name they took? Skylar Bell. Oh man, he went to UConn. This kid had over 100 receptions, almost 1,300 yards last year. I think, and he's stepping into a pretty weak wide receiver room in Buffalo. If Josh Allen likes him, hopefully they become friends, start hanging out or something. Maybe, and this guy already took Josh Allen in the second round, so we're not going to be making a bill stack or nothing. So I'm strong at wide receiver right now. Neighbors, Buka, and Moore. I only have Walker at running back, so we're a little bit thin at running back. I might have to see what running backs are going to be available pretty soon. I'm going to need at least one more guy that I could rely on before I start taking any kind of shots, even if I am going to stack up this team wide receiver-wise. And let's see, we've got Neighbors, Buka, and Moore. So obviously Dart and Baker are both still out there. I should be able to get Dart maybe in round 7 if he's available. And right now, oh wow, okay, and I can get Baker way later. Baker 115, huh? Interesting. Bet you that goes up a little bit. Right there goes Big Mike. Speaking of him, to this guy with Barkley, Jackson, and Jacobs. Okay, that's great. Someone really knew about football like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, that would have been a smash. This year, it's a little bit of a you're living in the past, Mr. Suswint. All solid players. I just think that there was a lot better value available for every single one of those picks. All right. So, let's see what's going on here. Let's see what running backs might fall to us. What do I have? 58, 59. Cam Scadaboo's probably going to be gone. I don't love Montgomery. Henderson is solid. Maybe we'll look at Henderson if he's there when our pick is back. The Patriots have a nice offensive line. They've got a pass game to take pressure off the run game and a good offensive line. That just says real good things about Henderson and Stevenson over there in New England. I like both of them for best ball this year. All right, let's see what's going on here. Scary Terry goes 51st. Okay, all right. If you say so, guy. Oh, that's my buddy here who's living a couple years in the past. There's another good example of it right there. McLaurin, another great player, but can Jaden Daniels stay healthy to throw him the ball? They didn't do anything to improve their offensive line. Got no other weapons besides Terry McLaurin. Yeah. I don't think things are going to go very well for Washington this year. And I certainly don't love taking Terry McLaurin in the 5th round. I don't mean to keep picking on Suswint, but Suswint's making some questionable moves here. Let's see here. Oh, this guy. Oh my gosh, Junior Quinn. A lot of people make some questionable moves. That's why it's a nice drafting this early in the draft season. I mean, a lot of times early in the season it's mostly sharps, but sometimes you get lucky and you get a couple people who are just going to do like 1 or 2 drafts and then hang it up. And you might get lucky that to be in a draft with a couple of those people at any time. And it's just really good when people make crazy picks before you. It's just pushing other guys back down to me, giving me value that I wouldn't have been able to get otherwise, Okay, so now taking a peek here. We're going to want a running back around this turn, either with my first pick or my second. 62. I could take Price on the way back. I do like him out there in Seattle. Could grab the Stevenson and have both of the New England running backs. Let's see, but Dunze is still here at 59. Let's see here. And tight end, Tucker Kraft, won't be reaching for him. Um, you know what? Let's take Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce got a really big contract from the Colts, and he's got a little bit less competition with Michael Pittman leaving. I really like Alec Pierce. And now we need to grab a running back. I think I'm going to grab Price here on the way back, unless this guy takes him. He probably won't take him, though. Let's see. And that's another thing about drafting early in the season. A lot of people who didn't scout rookies themselves and who are just drafting by ear are real scared to take a lot of these rookies. And you can get some great value on rookies. And once it gets to the middle, late rounds, there's a couple of guys I like. Let's see if I can capitalize on it in this draft or not. I do like Price out there. And Seattle. All right. Boom. Thank you. Now, I don't know if I like him enough to lean on him as my RB2, but obviously we're gonna find some more pieces to add around Walker and the boys. This guy went tootin'. All right. So besides, he got Taylor. He got a good deal on Jefferson, Etienne in the third, McMillan, Drake May. So, I mean, he's got a decent team. He's got naked Drake May right now. Maybe he plans on taking some New England weapons a little bit later. This guy goes Marvin Harrison, who has been a giant letdown so far in his career. Is he going to step up and play anything like his dad ever? I don't know. It sure doesn't seem like it. I mean, he's an all right player, but he's just not what we expected him to be. And he's kind of still being drafted like he's going to turn into what we expect him to be. Not for me. I mean, maybe a few rounds later, if he's still available a couple of rounds from now, I might consider it. I mean, there's some really good players on the board right now. I mean, I know I just took Jadarian Price, but I kind of did that. I don't love that pick. I mean, maybe it'll work out. I kind of had to do it out of need because I'm so thin at running back. I went quadruple wide receiver between the second and the fifth round, and that's nice. But I'm thin at running back right now. So, and there goes Caleb, 68. Okay, he's already got Loveland and Burden, so this guy's working on some stacking. This is also the guy who took Allen early. He also has Chase. Okay. Guys, Senior Strong is building a unique team. That's kind of okay. I mean, he's probably reaching a little bit too much to build it, and there's going to be other similar teams that just work out better or with people who had value fall to them. But, you know, it looks nice right now. Here's our guy who, oh man, I'm going to stop saying your name, bro. And Wiersma. Come on, it was and Wiersma? Okay. Must be some kind of initials going on there. I don't think you're supposed to pronounce that name. See who he takes, and then Crispy CCCP is going to be on the clock. This guy went Fannin. Fannon's a nice player. Might be a little bit high to be taking him. Oh, man. Fannin and Laporte are both in the 6th round. I mean, they're both solid tight ends, but people are drafting them like they're going to be anywhere near as good as Bowers or McBride or Warren. Nah. Not even close. Solid, but not elite. And these guys, you know, if you're drafting a tight end in the 6th round, you're expecting them to be elite, if you ask me. I mean, I would be. And all right, come on. Let's go. You know who you're picking already. And he goes naked Hurts with no Eagles on his team yet. Or did he? No, he didn't. No way. Yep. All right, and we have Sweet Leaf 22. He's got some real strong running backs, a little bit weak at wide receiver. Took a shot at Jaden Daniels too early. This team could still be saved. All right. Senior Strong. What you going to do, bro? Already have 2 quarterbacks in the first 6 rounds. That is rough. I mean, you're going to be ahead at quarterback, but you're going to be behind everywhere else. Just a little bit too early to take that second quarterback, especially when you already reached for the most elite quarterback. Well, I don't know if he's going to play like the most elite quarterback, but he is drafted as the most elite quarterback, and he does have that 50-point in one game ability. He seems to do it a couple times every year. So, it's justifiable that he's the first quarterback taken. But not only did he take the first quarterback taken, he also reached for him a round ahead of ADP. And then he took another quarterback who I also really like a lot in Caleb Williams, but he took him in the 6th round. And now he's just going to be hurting at all his other positions. All right, Junior Queen, what do you got? Wan'Dale Robinson in the 7th round. Interesting. It's a little high. I think that's way above his ADP. Maybe not. About to be back on the clock. And see, I'll try to, maybe I'll get Jackson. I have to get Jackson Dart here since I already have Neighbors, but let's see if I want to take him first. Mekhi Lemon, I do like a lot. I might be able to get Mekhi Lemon here and then Jackson Dart on the way back. I think that's the plan. Let's see how this is going to work out. Hopefully this guy doesn't snag him on me. Griffith Wynn. I'm not sure if he's paying attention or if he's one of those guys that loves to screw over other people instead of worrying about the optimization of their own team. But that is something that you have to worry about sometimes. Some people would just love to take the guy that you want, even if it doesn't fit their team. This guy takes Mahomes. All right. I've seen people take him higher, and whatever. He didn't take the guy I want, so I'm not going to make fun of him. But Mahomes is kind of lacking weapons a little bit. And I think that Kansas City might be a little bit more leaning on the run game this year than they have been in previous years. All right. Let's snag up Jackson Dart. Get that stack with Malik Neighbors. Easy choice. Jackson Dart was a really nice best ball quarterback last year when he played. He had a couple of 0 weeks that he took because towards the beginning of the season, Russell Wilson was starting and he came in and handed off like one play, 2 games in a row, gave him a big fat 0 fantasy score, brought his average down a lot, but he still did really well. The guy's got a huge ceiling, and he did all that without Malik Neighbors. And I've got both of those guys on my best ball team. Got to feel good about that, right? Okay, Michael Wilson goes 87th. He's a solid pick. But this guy here was trying to set up the Arizona stack, and Nick 10 sniped him. Like, okay, dude, let him have the Arizona stack. Do you think he's going to win with the Arizona stack? I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but go for it. Stack it up. Stack it up. Boom. Okay, there goes Trev. Trev is a decent-ish quarterback, too, in best ball. Don't love him. I don't think that the Jags are poised to take a step forward at all. I think, if anything, they're probably going to take a step back. There goes Stafford and Purdy. We're having a little bit of a run on quarterbacks. I'm feeling good. I got my guy before the run started. And depending on who is there for me, I might double up on quarterback, or I'll probably just wait a little bit later and take Baker and then maybe take a shot on like one other guy, whoever falls down late. I do like 3 quarterback teams, especially in DraftKings in the 20-round format. It seems like it doesn't seem. I know for sure, looking back at my teams in previous years, that my 3 quarterback teams seem to perform really well, and they made the playoffs at a higher percentage, and then also they advanced in the playoffs at a higher percentage than my other teams that had 1 or 2 quarterbacks. I don't. I have drafted some 4 quarterback teams before. I don't recommend it. I'm not sure that I've ever made the playoffs even with a 4 quarterback team. But I also don't do it very often. If I did it a little bit more often, maybe I would. But you know what's going to happen? If you advance with a 4 quarterback team, chances are you're just not going to advance in the playoffs because, whatever quarterback you're using, somebody else has got it too, and they just have a couple more weapons because you wasted 4 picks on quarterback and, they only took 2 or 3. Okay, so coming back, Pitts went. Pollard is a solid pick. Jaden Reed, I don't love necessarily. I do think Romeo Dobbs is going to be pretty nice on the Patriots. Is that the guy who took... No, of course it's not the guy who took May. That was over here. Okay. This guy's got Stafford and Daniels, and he's got Puka and Kyron. So he's working a little bit of a Ram stack. Oh, okay. He's really stacking it. With Jaden as, it's interesting to take your second quarterback first. Okay. Whatever you say, dog. Maybe it'll work out. Where's my mom? I'm not asking. That's this person's name. The guy, the one that just took Herbert and Lawrence. Interesting duo. Excuse me. Right. Oh, yeah. Forgot to hit the mute. I should have muted that, right? Probably should have. Too late. Forgot what the hockey is. Okay, I'm almost on the clock. I am on the clock. And looking through everybody. This is the main list. We'll go quarterback. There's not going to be a quarterback I want right here. I want Baker with my next pick, though, because he's probably not going to make it back to me. And considering I'm going to take Baker with my next pick, let's just take Kenneth Gainwell right here. Nice nice running back with wide receiver skills. He can catch the ball. And with full point PPR here at DraftKings, got to love that, especially if I plan on taking Baker with my next pick. And we have a little mini stack that we're getting here at this turn. Unless this guy snipes me. I don't think he's going to. Okay, let's take Baker. Okay, so looking at the team so far, we have Kenneth Walker, who, I admit that was a little bit of a questionable start, but I can't help it. I'm always trying to be a little bit different, and that wasn't much of a reach. And I do think that there's a chance that Andy Reid really pounds the ball with Kenneth Walker III in Kansas City. Then we got Neighbors, we got Ibuka, we got DJ Moore, we got Pierce, we got Price, we got Lemon, we got Dark, Gainwell, and Mayfield. Okay, starting strong. This isn't my favorite team that I've built so far this year, but I really like this team. We got a little bit of correlation. Obviously, the playoff schedule for week 15, 16, and 17 is not known yet, so we're kind of hoping to get lucky in some of those situations right now. And instead of trying to stack up those playoff weeks, we're just trying to get value on guys who are going to be drafted a lot higher in these drafts closer to the season. So if any of these guys go in the 8th, 9th, 10th round right now, right before the season, if they're being taken 3rd or 4th round, and you can get them here, with great value, you might be able to build a team right now that you will never be able to build closer to the season, and that's more what we're trying to do here. Okay, there goes Gatson. This guy's building a little bit of a Chargers stack and a Jacksonville stack. Okay. Took Love in the 2nd round before Henry, before Jacobs, before Kyron, before Chase Brown. Okay, dude. You see, the thing is, like, with Love, that's what you're hoping he turns into, right? I mean, really, I guess you're hoping he turns into Barkley. But, the best case scenario is basically he turns into one of these guys that went after him. And it's not even a good chance. He's probably not going to be as good as those players. Maybe he'll be almost as good as those players. But Arizona has a horrible offensive line. They're going to be playing from behind a lot. He's just not. It's not worth taking him. Not right there. Anyways. Okay. And we'll take a peek at these guys' teams a little bit. Okay. Let's see. This guy's got a pretty balanced team, I guess. This guy drafting out of the one hole is okay. Not much. Okay, went CJ Stroud. And, okay, he's got Nico. So he is setting up some kind of a stack here. That's something you always kind of have to look for is who's stacking and who's not stacking. It's pretty obvious to tell who has played a lot of best ball and who is brand new. If they're not stacking anyone at all, if they're not even considering the fact that if a wide receiver catches 3 touchdowns in one game, then his quarterback threw him those 3 touchdowns in one game. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You kind of have to spread it out a little bit. You don't want to take all guys from the same team. But if you have a quarterback, you want at least 1 or 2 weapons from that quarterback's team because, he's got to throw those touchdowns to somebody. And at least some of those weeks, it would be really nice if your guy, throws 4 touchdowns and 3 of them are to a wide receiver that you have and another one is to a tight end that you have on your team and you get double the points for all those touchdowns. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But, when you see people not doing it, when they're taking a quarterback naked and they have no correlation, it's like, okay, well, I guess I don't really have to worry too much about this person. They're just taking random shots in the wind. If you don't know which way the wind's blowing, I wouldn't recommend just whipping it out and peeing. It might come back and get you. All right, there goes Likely, who I did want. He got taken above ADP. That's fine. I won't be too upset about that. I'll be able to find some other tight ends who are going to help me pretty well a little bit later. Okay. So now 131 is coming up. If I can find it. About to be on the clock with 131. Is there a tight end right now? I like Fergie from Dallas. Sadiq I liked a lot more before he got drafted to the Jets. Aaron Jones, Shad White. Any starting quarterbacks left? Maybe I'll take Daniel Jones on the way back around, and then I'll be done at quarterback. Then I'll have 3 solid quarterbacks. I probably need... I need running backs or tight end. Pretty bad here. You know what? Let's take Jake Ferguson. Real solid tight end down there in Dallas. Had some real nice weeks. You probably can't rely on him every week, but he's definitely a solid piece. Gonna need a couple more tight ends. This will probably end up being a 3 tight end team. Sometimes I go 4 tight ends. I'm a lot more likely to go 4 tight ends than I am to go 4 quarterbacks. I'll tell you that. Am I going to go Daniel Jones on the way back, though? Let's see. What other quarterbacks are there potentially? Darnold, Jones, Cam Ward, who could be in for a bounce-back year. Same with Bryce Young, Mendoza. You know what? Shador Sanders. There's quite a few guys I could have for my 3rd quarterback. Let's unqueue Daniel Jones. Take a peek here at these running backs. Jonathan Brooks could be a smash, but there's just a lot of risk there. Him coming off of those 2 ACL tears within 13 months. That's pretty rough. And Coker is still here. And if I take Coker, Bryce Young usually goes 140. Maybe he will fall to me. Could look strange. You know what? Let's take Jalen Coker. Why not? I don't have any exposure to him yet. I don't think I've drafted him at all in any of my 20-something teams so far. Let's switch it up. You have to. You need different builds. I mean, if you build all your teams the same, maybe they all win. Maybe no. Yeah, right. Not going to happen. No way. Even if you like mostly all the same guys, you're going to be drafting against different people out of different draft slots. In every draft, they're all going to come out a little bit different, and you're just not going to be able to get that optimal one that you're looking for with your 7 or 8 guys that you're trying to get on every team. It's just not going to work that way. So you need to spread it out. You need exposure to a lot of different players. You need a lot of different builds. You need a lot of different strategies. If, say, I really like Igbukah this year, which I do, I want to get him in as part of some hero running back builds, some zero running back builds, some double hero running back builds, all kinds of builds. You don't want to just start taking a couple flyers on guys all in the same build. Maybe that works out for you, but really you should be taking flyers on guys in different builds as much as you can. Daniel Jones went 138. We knew he was going to go before my next pick at 155. Not too worried about it. There goes Cam Ward as well. And Sadiq, who, like I said, I liked him a lot coming out pre-draft. I'm just really disappointed that he went to the Jets, who took a bunch of sexy picks and didn't build up that O-line at all. I mean, they watch the other teams play, right? Like they know that the guys who are good have good offensive lines. Maybe they just don't know. No, they do know. They just do stupid shit in the Jets front office on a regular basis. Okay, there goes Chig Okonkwo. You know what? I really liked him last year with Tennessee preseason. He just was not consistent enough. He did not contribute to my teams nearly as much as I wanted him to. And I thought that was a better situation. I thought it was a better situation down there in Tennessee because he had a talented rookie quarterback who had limited weapons. He didn't have that many weapons. I was thinking he was going to lean on Chig Okonkwo a little bit more when he got in trouble. And it just didn't seem to happen like that. And, I'm not expecting or projecting big things from Okonkwo in Washington. Maybe similar to his results from last year, but I do not think that he's taken a step up moving to the Redskins, who also have a crappy offensive line and don't have many weapons outside of Terry McLaurin. Okay, there goes Tyrone Tracy and Higgins and Mendoza. This guy took Mendoza in the 13th. Okay. Mendoza is probably going to be a solid player when he plays, but how much is he going to play? He might not even start the beginning of the season. It might be Cousins for the first 2 to 6 weeks. Who knows? And then once he comes in, he's going to play like a rookie at first. He's going to make rookie mistakes. He's not going to have big games every week. He might start to contribute towards the end of the season, but as your second quarterback, this guy only has C.J. Stroud and Mendoza on his team. That's just not going to do it for you. Your third quarterback isn't going to be. There's not going to be anyone good left for you either. Now you're basically relying on Mendoza, who may not even play the entire year. He does have a lot of nice weapons around him, and there is the chance that he could smash, but I think it's a pretty small chance. Year two Mendoza could be top level. We'll see what happens. We'll see how he looks as a rookie, and we'll see if they ruin him out there in Las Vegas or not. But right now, for the future, he projects pretty good. But I'm not so excited to take him as my second quarterback on a best ball team. If anything, I'll take him as the third quarterback. But that's about as far as I'm going to go. All right, Omar Cooper Jr. goes. Another guy I was real excited about. This guy might be a Jets fan, or maybe he's trying to build a Jets stack. He already built himself a Bear stack. I think both of these guys were really talented players coming out, and the Jets kind of probably ruined them both for us for best ball. Who knows what they're going to do? I do think the Jets are going to take a very slight, like a minuscule step up, but they're not going to be great. The biggest thing is the offensive line. I don't want to beat a dead horse about it, but they didn't do enough to improve the offensive line. Okay, pick 155 is coming up. And thin at running back. Let's see what we got here. Algiers there, Mitchell Algiers. So Mike Washington Jr. Okay, all right. So 150. I want Jonah Coleman on my team. I'll tell you what right now. I know they have a couple good running backs out there in Denver. It is not the best news for those guys that they drafted Jonah Coleman, because Jonah Coleman is a special player and he's going to contribute in the NFL. He's going to be great. And he's definitely going to take carries away from one of those other guys out there in Denver, whether that is Dobbins or who's the other guy? Don't even matter. It don't even matter. Soon it's going to be Jonah Coleman. Jonah Coleman is going to be the guy from Denver that everybody knows, believe me. And he might only get part-time carries as a rookie, but in this part of the draft, he is more than worth taking. I love me some Jonah Coleman. All right, and it's coming right back around at 158. And if I don't take a quarterback here, there might not be any starters left. On the way back, I could stick with a 2-quarterback team. I could take Brissett. Like I said, I don't love necessarily building Arizona stacks, but he is solid as your quarterback 3. He has a couple of decent weapons. He did have some good weeks last year. He averaged 18 fantasy points a game. Look at all these 20-point games. He had a couple of zeros bringing him down too, kind of similar to Jackson Dart. Let's do it. Quarterback 3. Welcome to the team, Jacoby. All right. Now, taking a peek. This guy took Algier when he could have had Jonah Coleman. This is what I mean. Early in the season, these guys don't even know about a lot of these rookies that are coming in. This time next year, there's not going to be many people drafting best ball who don't know Jonah Coleman's name. Let's just put it like that. All right, and that's how you win best ball. Okay, you have to know about the players before the field, before your draft mates, and you have to win every draft, and you also have to get a little bit lucky. But you know what? I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna stream a winner this year, 100K or more. Gonna stream it. I'm gonna show my thought process during the whole thing. I've had some nice hits before in the past, not quite that high. But you know what? This year I did even more preparation. I did even more work because I was starting this channel, But every year I'm doing a lot of work and a lot of preparation. This year I just stepped it up to, like, I don't know if I could say the highest level, but at least for me, which was already an extremely high level, it is probably the highest level of preparation I've had going into a season, especially this early in best ball season. I'm very familiar with all of the rookies that are going to make an impact into best ball, and I'm very confident that the majority of the field is not. They might know about a couple of guys, but they just do not know about these rookies nearly as much as I do right now. So let's see what's going on. There goes Travis Hunter. Don't love him, but we're getting late in the draft. It's probably worth taking shots on him here. See if he's going to play more offense or if he's going to play both ways again. He tried to do that last year. It didn't exactly work out. He ended up getting banged up. Didn't really produce much on either side of the ball. I think that he really needs to just focus on one side of the ball. And there's a chance that he could pick corner. What happens if he picks corner and he just only plays defense? And you drafted this guy on your best ball team. Listen, an interception for a touchdown doesn't count. It's not going to count on your DraftKings points, right? So, I don't know. I mean, not that I've heard anything. I haven't heard that he's going to switch to cornerback only, but it's only logical. If I was the coach, I would tell him, I'd be like, dude, you have to pick one or the other. You could probably be a top 3, top 5 corner in the league, or you could be a top 50 wide receiver. What do you want to do? I mean, if I was him, I would want to be an elite corner rather than another wide receiver, right? And considering he might be facing that kind of decision sometime in the near future, I'm kind of staying away from Travis Hunter right now at this point. Oh, I didn't even notice that Jeremy Bernard went on the 14th round right here by B-Bro. B-Bro also took Stout. Okay, so B-Bro knows a little bit about rookies because he's got, everybody knows about Jordan Tyson. You don't have to do a deep dive to know about Jordan Tyson. But this guy did take Eli Stowers, who's a nice tight end, and Jeremy Bernard, that screen, or no, I'm sorry. No, he's the possession guy. He's the possession guy out of Alabama. All right. But he is nice. I had him lit. I don't have my scouting reports open because I already finished my full report on every team. But I did have all the wide receivers, or at least over 20 of them, scouted and ranked pre-draft. And Jeremy Bernard was ranked pretty high on that list. I think he was rated around my 8th or 9th best wide receiver in this class. And this is a really deep class. There's a lot of really good wide receivers in this class. There's a lot of guys who were drafted in the 3rd round who are going to make major contributions to best ball this year. Okay, and we're coming back up on the clock. We have Sampson. I like Sampson. I like Sampson a lot more than a lot of other people like him. He might be the guy that I'm going to go for here. I'm going to queue him up, take a look at the receivers. We've got Tank Dell, we got Cedric Tillman, we got some guys, but you know what? A lot of guys that I like are going to be down a little bit further down this list. See if there's any tight ends worth taking in this area. Oh man, am I going to? Let's just take Kate Oden to match him up with Mayfield. All right. And then hopefully Sampson will be there with my next pick. You know what? The Browns have really beefed up their offensive line. They added a lot of weapons in the draft. I like what the Browns are doing, and I like their run game a lot. I think that a lot of teams are going to zero in on Shedeur Sanders, trying to shut down the passing game, and they're not going to stack the box quite as often against the Browns like they did before, like when they used to have Chubb over there. And I think that both Sampson and, I'm drawing a blank on the other guy's name, but the two running backs there in Cleveland are both going to have good seasons. Hopefully, he doesn't get taken right before my pick, and let's just make sure that there's not someone else that I might like just a little bit more. Let's go over to running backs. We do have Samson. I'm not expecting much from Wilson or Connor necessarily. Let's see. Johnson. No. Yeah, no, we're just going to take Samson. Boom. Samson. All right. Okay, there goes Darnell Mooney. You know what I don't love? I don't love Mooney or Calvin Austin, the free agent wide receivers that the Giants brought in. I liked them a little bit before, but now that they've drafted Fields, who I'm going to look to take a little bit later in this draft, like this Mooney pick is just ridiculously bad, considering I'm going to get Fields in either the 18th or the 19th round, who is going to produce probably 5 times as much as Mooney on his exact same team. It's just crazy to take like the 4th or 5th receiving option when the number 2 receiver is still sitting there on the board and is still going to go much later. He is another rookie that a lot of guys don't know about. But if you don't know about Malachi Fields, you might want to take a peek at his highlights. The guy is a really special possession receiver. He's huge. He's like 6'5". He has awesome hands. He had very low drop percentage in college. And you know what? He played for Notre Dame. His highlights were really great. Before that, he played for Virginia. And his highlights in Virginia are incredible. His highlights in Notre Dame are incredible. The only reason this guy was a 3rd-round pick is because this is such a deep wide receiver class. In almost any other year, he would have been drafted towards the end of the 1st round or maybe in the first half of the 2nd round. Fields is a real solid player. I think the Giants are going to lean on him a lot. Plus, it's not even known if Malik Nabers is going to be healthy to start the season. In fact, the reports are not that great. I mean, I know I took him up here in the 2nd round. Once he gets back, I do love what he's going to do with the Giants. But his health is a little bit up in the air, and it is very possible that he could miss or be not 100% for the first couple weeks of the season. And if that is the case, Fields becomes the number 1 guy in those weeks. And not to mention, Malik Nabers also plays with no fear. He's out there taking big hits all the time. Instead of ducking out of bounds, he will do something crazy, make an extra move, take a big hit that he probably didn't need to take. He does have a little bit of injury risk with him, and at any time, if Malik Nabers is to get injured, that makes Malachi Fields an absolute smash. And people just don't even know. And I only feel good about talking about this because I'm not live streaming this draft. No one's going to see it until afterwards when I have hopefully already taken Malachi Fields. And you know what? I might grab him in the 18th round, even though I've been able to get him in the 19th or the 20th round. Maybe I'm not. I don't want people watching me too much and moving this guy's ADP up the board that much. I really love the idea that I can get him in the late rounds. Okay. Coming up on my pick, 203. Stribling is another really nice wide receiver out there in San Francisco. A lot of people don't know about him. Everybody knows about Big Mike. Everybody knows about, what's his name? The other kid that got shot a couple of years ago, Pierce Hall. But I think that Stribling is going to be a better receiver for the 49ers than Pierce Hall. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, Stribling makes really, really nice catches. I really like Stribling. Okay. I don't know if I want to take him here in this draft, but I do really like him. And looking around, Chris Bell was nice in college, but he's kind of ruined by being taken by the Dolphins. We do need another tight end. We need a couple more tight ends, and I need them soon. Oh, no. Who do I want here? Oh, no. Let's grab Ray Davis real quick. Oh man, it auto picked me Malik Washington. Oh no. No. Well, you know what? Maybe it'll come out of nowhere and win it for me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I had it sorted. Oh my gosh, so it was only showing me the guys. A lot of times I cut it to the last second, especially while I'm explaining my thought process, and then I had it sorted so that I double clicked an extra time, so it's showing me these guys who are not worth drafting at all. All I needed to do was click it one more time. I was just a little bit late on it. Whatever. Okay. So now let's look at the team. We got 5 running backs. We got 7 receivers. We got 2 tight ends. One of those wide receivers was a guy that I don't love, though. I mean, like I said, hopefully, sometimes that happens. Sometimes someone gets sniped, or sometimes you get an auto pick. You draft a guy you would normally pick, and then that ends up being the guy that you need. I've definitely had a couple of teams like that before. Okay. And is there a different wide receiver that okay, so we're in the 8. Let's just take Fields right here. You know what? No, I'm going to take Zachariah Branch, the screen machine in Atlanta. This guy also doesn't have much target competition besides Drake London. So now, I may have screwed myself just a little bit. I don't think so. No, you know what? We're fine. I can still take Malachi Fields with my 19th round pick, and then I can scoop up another emergency tight end in the last round, and we'll just stick with 5 running backs on this team. But we got Sampson and we got Coleman, who are both extremely underrated. And Coleman, I'm telling you right now, this guy's going to come out of nowhere and be a beast. Okay, I like Gainwell, I like Price, I love Walker. You know what? It's not the deepest running back room, but if I can avoid some injuries there, maybe some of the shots I took at other positions will pay off, and it'll work out exactly the way it should work out, and we'll take home a big prize in this draft. Okay. One Fields. And what tight ends do we have here? 4 last round shots. And I didn't talk about it in the very beginning, but the 11th spot is a decent spot to be picking from. I think right now I really like I really like the ninth slot or the 4th slot. But 11 and 12 are also very strong slots, and one of my best ball teams that I had my biggest return on, I drafted out of the 12 slots. All right. So the way I'm looking at it is Branch kind of makes up for this Washington pick. I mean, man, what was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I didn't mean to take him. Give me 1 week, bro. Just sneak into my starting lineup 1 week, and it'll all be worth it. Malik, the other Malik on my team. How many Maliks do I have? I only have 2 Maliks, right? It'd be funny if I had more than. I got a Makai. Only 2 Maliks. It's a lot of Maliks. I don't think I've ever been in a room with 2 Maliks. Oh, Fields went. Someone snagged Fields on me, but that's all right. Okay, let's see. Who else do we like here? You know what? We don't have to go wide receiver. I was just going to take wide receiver because I really like Fields. We still need to get at least 1 tight end with these last couple picks. I might even need 2 tight ends because it is a little bit weak. Is there anyone? We'll take Theo Johnson now that I'm not going to take Fields. We'll add 1 more Giants weapon to stack up with Dart. And as far as receiving weapons, I don't love Chris Brazel or Brazel. I'm not sure exactly how you say it yet, but he's really tall, really skinny. To me, my takeaway from him was the guy needs to put on weight to be able to take hits in the NFL. Don't love it. Surratt might be a little bit of a better pick. I'm not really sure. Now that Harbaugh's gone, are they going to be in multiple wide receiver sets more often, or are they still going to be running those big sets with multiple tight ends? Let's do it. Let's take Surratt. I do really like Surratt from Indiana, And then I'll see if I can get Theo Johnson on the way back. And that will wrap up this draft. My first stream draft, post NFL draft. And you know what? It's a decent team. I don't feel stupendous about it. But I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good. All right. What are we taking? Taking Ray Davis. Okay. In these last couple of rounds, you really can't make fun of anyone for taking shots on anybody because, at any time, any of these guys could be one injury away, or they could just be sleepers that no one else is looking at. I might feel that way about Chris Bell if he was on a different team. I might feel that way about Damon Claiborne if he was on a different team. I do feel that way about Ted Hurst. I think it's Ted, right? Yeah, Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst, big body wide receiver from Georgia State. This guy with Baker Mayfield. This guy stole Hurst and Fields. Both of my sleeper stacking weapons. All right, let's just take the Theo Johnson. Now this draft is wrapped up. We'll take a quick peek at everyone's team. We'll look around. All right, so up here, this guy started with Gibbs and Bowers, Collins, Flowers. Nice little rhyme. All right, and then see this guy in the one slot has a pretty solid team, but he has, except for weeks when CJ Stroud has good weeks, he's going to have really low score in his quarterback slot almost every week. This guy started with Bijan. He took London a little bit higher than I would like. He took Hampton, even though Hampton is running behind a horrible offensive line. Williams was supposed to take a major step up last year. The Lions were letting out hints that he was going to have this huge year, and then he just didn't really. McConkey had a down year last year. Fannin looks pretty good. I like Hurts to have a bounce back year. This guy's team is okay. His worst pick is Hampton here in the third round. He knows that Hampton's a really good player. I'm just not sure this guy realizes how bad the Chargers' offensive line is. All right, moving right along, we got Saquon and Lamar. It was too high to take Lamar. I'm not going to say it was too high to take Saquon, but it might have been. You got a good deal on Josh Jacobs, Big Mike, Scary Terry. He went a little bit too high in Sam Laporta. Sutton might be in store for a bounce back year, but you know what? He took Sutton before Godwin and Brian Thomas. I don't know. He took him before Mekhi Lemon. I don't think so. I don't think that was a good pick. All right. He's got Purdy. Does he have Purdy? All right. We'll stay. He's got Purdy with no San Francisco weapons. No one stacked. He has Shedeur Sanders with no Cleveland weapons. He's got Lamar with Mark Andrews. Okay. And Bateman. Okay, so he's got a little bit of a Baltimore stack. It looks like he just kind of took flyers on a lot of other guys. We got Sweet Leaf, who started strong with Nakua and Henry and Kyron. That was a great start. Sweet Leaf probably had the best 3-round start of anyone in this draft. Continued on with Adams and Montgomery, who I don't love quite as much in Houston. Daniels, I already talked about how I don't love him. He kind of fell apart in the later rounds. This guy seems to be a part-time football watcher. He only knows the studs. Okay. Moving right along, this guy got a good deal. Chase 5th overall. Then he reached for Allen. But he did that because you cannot have Chase Allen and Chase Brown on the same team unless you were to set it up this way. There's just no other way that you're going to get those 3 guys on the same team. He took Loveland a little bit high. I know some people are considering Loveland an elite tight end. He almost had 1,000, he had over 900 yards. So that's pretty solid for a tight end. I do like Caleb Williams too. I like him if you can get a little bit better value on him, maybe in the 5th round. Burden is a nice pick. Caleb Williams is a nice pick. This guy has got a pretty solid team until he started taking the Jets' weapons, Sadiq and Cooper and Geno. That's just a horrible waste of a stack right there, in my opinion. Okay, moving right along. Where's My Mom took Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Love started strong with JSN. Love was a horrible pick in the second round, considering they took Love before Henry, before Hampton, before Jacobs, before Kyron, before Chase Brown, before I guess that's the last one that's atrocious, but still before all those guys that you're hoping he turns into. He took Pickens, who was solid. Wilson is a really good player, but he's on the Jets, and Gino just isn't going to be able to get him the ball nearly enough. This guy's team isn't great. We'll stop looking at it. B-Bro started strong with C.D. Lamb. Then he took a shot on Rashee Rice. I like Rashee Rice. I don't know if I love him right here at this spot. Olave is going to be a real solid pick. He helped people win in the best ball playoffs last year, including the guy who won the $2 million in the DraftKings Millionaire Maker. Had Olave on his team last year. Judkins is the other Cleveland running back that I was having trouble thinking of a couple minutes ago. He's also solid running behind that line. I like Warren. I like Tyson. I like Prescott. This guy's got a solid team. Shook, Jones, this guy, and this is the same guy who also poached Fields and Hurst from me. This guy has got a solid team. B-Bro. Now, B-Dizzle. B-Dizzle started out with McCaffrey and Genty. Genty, this guy is still living in the hype from pre-season last year, right? I mean, you got to be. How could you take Genty ahead of these same guys that I said you're taking Love ahead of? Maybe he has a better year now that Mendoza is in Las Vegas. But I just think that he's a slightly above average running back, and he's just not. That wasn't a great pick right there. I do like A.J. Brown. He projects to be on the Patriots this year. I hate Hall. I love Scattaboo. Watson you're taking a chance. He's just a little bit inconsistent. So we take a peek here at his games and fantasy points, 12, 25, 3, 5. He has a nice week. 24, another nice week. 18, 9, 6, 7. The guy, it's just like once a couple spike weeks, nothing too great. Most of the time, he is playing below his potential. All right. And then, I lost my spot here. Where was I? I was looking at this guy's team. Where was I? All right. Well, whatever. Moving right along. This guy here, Junior Queen 91, started strong. Took James Cook and elite tight end Trent McBride. In my opinion, Brock Bowers is a better pick than McBride this year, now that he has a little bit better quarterback play. I know that McBride is also really good, top level elite tight end. I'm not going to get mad at you for taking McBride over Bowers, but I do think that Bowers would have been a better pick right there. Also, Joe Burrow in the third round. This was too high. He probably could have got him in the fourth or fifth round if he let him drop and took a better player. I mean, he could have taken Egbuka, who I ended up taking 2 picks later. He could have took T. Higgins. He could have took T. Higgins right here at the 3-9, and then he would have been able to get Burrow and the stack in the fourth round if he was just a little bit more patient. Let's just move on. This guy, obviously, he also took Harrison. He's living in the past with this guy. He reached on Wan'Dale Robinson way too high. Yeah, this guy's not going to be in the playoffs. No need to worry about this guy. Nick Tennant. I don't know if Nick 10 Ants. Maybe his mom's the landlord or something. I don't get what that's about. But all right, he had Jonathan Taylor in the first round, Justin Jefferson, who I'm way down on Justin Jefferson. I know he's a good wide receiver, but look at the guy averaged 12 fantasy points a game last year. 12. His quarterback play is not improving. It's either going to be the kid from last year or Kyler Murray, and either way, it's not going to be good. This guy, it's not going to be over 15 points a game for Justin Jefferson for the whole season. All right. I don't like his team. We have my team, who we've already looked at a little bit, and then we got one more. Griffith Wynn. Griffith Wynn started with Amon-Ra St. Brown, went Achane, and then he goes Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Mahomes in the 7th, Kittle in the 8th, reaching on both of these guys just a little bit. Charbonnet in the 9th. Okay. Now I took Price a couple rounds earlier than Charbonnet. This guy got really good value on Charbonnet. He should have went a little bit closer to where I took Price. I do expect Price to have a better year out of those two guys, but I do think that That is a split backfield, and they are going to have similar production. This guy's pick of Charbonnet in the 9th round is better than mine of Price in the 6th. Although hopefully Price outperforms him so much, it doesn't even matter. And then he's got Worthy, he's got Willis, and he's got a couple of crappy quarterbacks down here. He took a shot on Shaheed. Oh no. He drafted Hill. What team is he on again? Oh, that's right. He's on his couch. Okay. He might play for somebody. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much smack, but he might not even play. The guy doesn't need to play. He's got money. He could do commercials. Why does he even want to put his body at risk like that? I would retire if I was him. Just saying. And, that just about wraps up this draft. It was a fun time. I hope you guys took a little something away, got a little idea of some value and some strategy, and come back and check out some more drafts.